Hi there. In this video I'm taking you along on a work trip I did to Berlin back in July. We'll check out the area around the ICC, make the most of some rainy weather with a few hotel room shots, and of course head out to capture everyday scenes around Berlin. With a full-time job and especially during work trips, it can be really tough to find time just for photography. But those are also the moments where you learn to get really creative with your schedule. Grabbing your camera on the way to dinner, shooting a few frames around the hotel, or wandering a neighborhood between commitments. And that's exactly what this video is about. Making the most of the little windows of time and still finding space to create. Focusing on the small moments and everyday scenes around you. So let's get started. I just arrived in Berlin. It's super rainy outside. I got soaked from that 10 minutes walk from the station to my hotel. This is mainly a work trip, not focused on photography, but I want to, after being at the customer all day, I want to use the evenings, and especially now in July, the sun is out quite long. I mean, if it's sunny, not like today. But I think I can squeeze in like 1 or 2 hours every evening if weather allows to roam around, take some photos. That's the plan. And that's the first of 2 weeks. So I have 2 weeks in Berlin. I'm heading home between the weeks, so for the weekend I'm home. But I have this week here in Berlin, so this should give me like 3 days to explore in the evenings, weather allows. And then next week again, 3 days. And I thought, why not do a video about these 2 weeks here in Berlin? Initially the plan was to go out with my Leica and my Ricoh to do a bit of photography, but neither the Ricoh nor the Leica is really weatherproofed, and yeah, like it's really super rainy, so yeah, I'm not sure. I don't wanna ruin my Leica. It's usually fine with the Ricoh if I hold it under an umbrella, but it's incredibly rainy, also super windy, and so I don't want to really risk it. Because of my frustration, I still took the Leica M2 out of my bag and snapped a few photos around the hotel room. I only have 2 rolls with me because Gatwick Airport is not an issue at all with hand checking, but the Berlin airport, last time I tried, they were really not amused, and they said, oh yeah, we do a one-time exception for you because you have only 1 roll, but usually we don't do this at all, and not more than 1 or 2 rolls. So I traveled only with 2 rolls, and the goal is to drop off both while I'm here in Berlin, and yeah, don't have the hassle of bringing the bag through security when I'm heading back to London. My first roll I brought with me is a Kodak UltraMax, so Kodak 400 speed color film, but obviously not for today. It's not really, there's no color basically. So I decided to go with my second roll, which is a roll of Kentmere 400, and because it's so dark already in here, I decided to push it 2 stops, or later in development push it 2 stops, but for now I'm exposing it at ISO 1600, and then later on I asked the lab to push it 2 stops. And usually I really like the results of Kentmere 400 push 2 stops. It's a bit more grainy, it's a bit more contrasty, it looks really nice in my opinion. And now I think I take one last photo in here with because I like these little lights. Let me take the landscape off, and with the 21, it should look really nice. Let's focus on the pillow f4, and then let's go to 30th just to have enough light in here, and then let's take one last photo in here. Alright, equipment wise I have the Leica M2 with me, the action cam, my Ricoh, and then for the Leica I have the 21 and the 35mm lens with me. First full day in Berlin. It's 6:30 and I finished work for today, and now I'm back in my hotel, and I basically walked back to my hotel, snapping a few black and white photos along the way. I basically finished my roll of Kentmere 200, pushed to 1600, and it was super bright outside, so it basically was impossible to shoot it at 1600, so I used my orange filter, which brings it back 2 stops. Basically, I want to push this roll later, therefore I have to expose it at 1600, but the orange filter takes 2 steps away, so I have to again expose it at 400 and later on push it 2 stops. So I think I'm staying in here for like another 10 minutes and then maybe head out again. I headed out for a short walk to explore the area around my hotel a bit more. I brought along my Leica M2 with the Vogtländer 21mm loaded with Kodak UltraMax 400. I managed to take a couple of shots, and while the weather and light weren't great, which makes the photos maybe look a bit dull, I'm still pretty happy with how they turned out. More importantly, I'm glad I stepped out of the hotel and made the effort. It felt really good to be outside, even though I haven't taken that many photos, and I think there's like no real bangers on there. But yeah, the most important thing for me was to get outside after the day of work inside an office. It's just so nice to get outside. Alright, so it's the 3rd full day in Berlin on my work trip, and I want to get out earlier today. It's almost 8 o'clock now. I wanted to get out way earlier today, but I had to do some live admin stuff, so yeah, that didn't happen unfortunately. And now I thought today I want to look for a nice restaurant around my hotel to get like a nice dinner. I have my Ricoh GR IIIx with me. I don't really feel so inspired, so I don't really want to waste my roll of Kodak UltraMax and don't waste any film. And the light isn't really, I mean there's not really any light there, so it's it's already pretty dark. And so I'm just out of the Ricoh, and I have set up the Ricoh to black and white. So of course it's just for the JPEG, and I can record JPEGs and RAW simultaneously, so I can always change in post to a color picture if I like. But as I said, I think it fits the mood today really good. Not really feeling super inspired if I'm honest. So yeah, but it's still, again, most important thing is to go outside, get some fresh air, explore a little bit, explore a new area, walk around and have some fun shooting. I think I still got a few halfway decent photos, black and white, really mundane, minimalistic scenes, like something like that. It's quite nice.
After wrapping up my last day of work in Berlin, I stopped by a film lab called SafeLight to drop off my rolls to avoid the hassle of bringing them through security at the airport. Since I still had a few frames left on the roll of Kodak UltraMax from the day before, I took some photos of like everyday scenes along the way. After finishing the roll, I dropped off both rolls, Kentmere 400 and UltraMax, and made my way back to the hotel. The next morning I left Berlin and headed home to London for a relaxing weekend ahead.
Hi, it's my second week in Berlin for my work trip, and yeah, the first part of this video was last week, and I had not really a lot of time last week to do some photography because yeah, the weather was like super bad, and also I had a bunch of admin stuff, live admin stuff to do. So not really, I mean work-wise was good, but not photography-wise last week. And now it's Monday again. I'm back in Berlin and the weather, as you can already see, is much nicer. It's like super sunny outside. It's really nice. So I thought I need to get a few, like a water and a few snacks. I already had a doner for dinner, but I need to get some snacks. So I thought, let's do like a little walk around the hotel, 10-15 minutes, half an hour, and also get some water and some other stuff. This time I have a slightly different camera setup with me. So this time I have the Fuji GS645W with me. So this is a medium format 645 camera with a 28mm equivalent lens from Fuji. And I want to start again with taking a photo of the hotel room, especially because the light is so nice at the moment. So I will start with that again. And for the film stock, I thought I have 3 rolls with me this time. Again, I want to shoot them all, and so I don't have to take them with me back through the airport. This time I have with me CineStill A100T, then Lomo 400, which is the roll I want to load now, and Kodak Gold Classic. And yeah, so with the Lomo 400 rolls, I sometimes have the issue that the rolls come out really like fat and I get some light leaks. And that's why I'm really careful on how I load these rolls and make sure to have like a little bit of tension without like stressing the loading mechanism too much, but still like having a little bit of tension, what I usually don't do, but I have this issue with these rolls sometimes, especially with Lomo 800, but sometimes also with Lomo 400. Okay, that's done. And yeah. Okay. I have to set the light meter back to 400. Yep. That's done. And then I can start. I think I take 1 or 2 photos of the room. As I said, the light is so nice at the moment. Let's set the camera for a moment. Up here. Yeah. Okay. And I want to get like the bed and like especially like this part where the light shines in like really nice. So let's get low. It's a 28 equivalent lens, so it's alright. And then I can do 1/60th of a second, and then let's see what aperture we can get. I would like to have like f8 or something. It's too dark for f8, yeah. Okay, let's go down to 1/30th of a second. Yeah, that looks good. And then, so composition wise, I think I'd take in this light and then the curtains, and getting low to get like the little shelf, or maybe a little bit more of the bed. Yeah, I think more of the bed, and then the picture. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, first photo done. Since the weather was gorgeous that evening, I decided to take a walk around the hotel with my Fuji GS645W loaded with Lomo 400. The lighting conditions were so much better than anything I had the week before, and I'm really happy with how the photos turned out. The vibrant colors of Lomo 400 worked beautifully for these kind of scenes. The next evening turned out to be the absolute highlight of my 2 weeks in Berlin. I met up with a good friend to explore the area around the Internationales Congress Centrum Berlin, or for short ICC.
As soon as we arrived, I got really excited and immediately started shooting with the Fuji. And in what felt like no time, I had finished the remaining frames on my roll of Lomo 400. I quickly switched over to Kodak Gold 200 to capture a few more shots around the building. The ICC is such a unique place. It looks incredible, almost out of this world. All the little details, from the old signs to the architecture itself, make it a fantastic subject for photography. After strolling around the exterior, we went underground, and that's when things got even more exciting. Sunlight streamed through the entrances, cutting into the passageways in these amazing patterns. I finished my roll of Kodak Gold, focusing on the stairs and the light pouring in. After that, I quickly loaded CineStill 800T, which ended up being my favorite roll from the entire trip. It's really the perfect stock for scenes like this. I shot the staircase, the passageways and all the smaller details, and I love how these photos turned out. The colors, the atmosphere, the halation, I think everything came together beautifully. Since this was the last roll I had with me in Berlin, I tried to slow down a bit and also took some digital photos with the Ricoh GR IIIx I had with me. I even experimented a bit with panoramic crops, which I thought worked really well for the space. After exploring more of the underground area, we headed out to check a nearby footway tunnel. And that's where I finished my roll of CineStill 800T. And once again, I'm really happy with the results. Looking back, I'm generally proud of the photos I captured at the ICC. They are definitely my favorite frames from the entire trip. Even though this wasn't a photography trip and it rained for half the time, I'm really happy with the results I've got this trip. It felt great to explore new areas and approach the whole trip with realistic expectations. In the end, those little moments of creativity made the journey even more rewarding. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this trip. I'm currently working on another video from a photography trip I did to Berlin in September, where I was able to go inside the ICC and a few other really cool places. I'm super excited to share that one with you very soon, hopefully. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a lot and means a lot for a small channel like mine. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!